have a guest for you guys here. This is my husband Harish. So we are here for you today to talk about labor and delivery story. So most of you guys know that my daughter was born on December 5th of last year. A week before December 5th, I was having these false labor signs all the time. So on the night of 4th, I had similar false labor signs. I had contractions on regular intervals for like an hour and they kind of disappeared. So we had our nighttime routine and then we went back to bed. And in the early hours of December 5th, almost like 5:30 a.m. is when I started having the contractions that were hurting and painful. So they kind of woke me up. I woke my husband up and I told him that, hey honey, you know what, it feels like it's real labor and I was like practicing these relaxing techniques. I had TV on, but then the contractions were pretty regular and then they were like 20 minutes apart. So my husband was still asleep at that time, and then he kind of woke up and he was getting ready for that day. One point I told him that I was getting contractions like every 15 or 12 minutes. That's when he kind of freaked out. We kind of realized that it was real labor.
So I was getting ready to go to work that day, and then she said that she's getting contractions regularly at an interval of 10 minutes apart, and I was like freaked out. And she actually keeps track of all the contractions on her phone. She keeps a log of the timings. They are like 10 minutes apart, and we'll finish last minute packing with the hospital bag. And also her breathing got heavier and harder. So I was helping her with the breathing techniques in between. Gave the doctor one last call just to give a heads up. So once we are at the hospital, we checked in.
And then the nurse came in and she checked my vitals. She started tracking my blood pressure, my contractions and everything like that. So this time around, I gave the nurse a heads up on the anesthesiologist, because the last time I wasn't aware that anesthesiologists take some time to get to the hospital. So this time around I was trying to be like more prepared, and then I called the anesthesiologist, and the nurse called the anesthesiologist and asked him to do his prep work, and she gave me some forms to fill out and some documents to sign so that we get everything ready. So by the time we were at the hospital, I was getting contractions that were 5 minutes apart, and then I was in pain, and then my husband was helping me with the breathing techniques and everything. At one point I was in so much pain, I think it was around when I was like 6 centimeters dilated or something. So I was in excruciating pain. So I was calling for the anesthesiologist, and then he came by and he was ready to give me an epidural. And guys, the entire time he was giving the epidural, I was in sobbing pain. I was squeezing my husband's hand and I was like, I wanted to get this done as quickly as possible. Period. When the anesthesiologist is giving you the epidural, you have to stay still. The anesthesiologist gave me the epidural, and after like 20 minutes, I kind of got some relief, and then I started talking again. Almost like after an hour later, I was like 10 centimeters dilated. And yeah, it was wonderful. We were so excited to push the baby out, and we just couldn't wait to see the baby.
So even before epidural and after epidural, I was like following up with the nurses if she needs anything. Following up with the nurses on like, okay, when the anesthesiologist is going to arrive, if he's on the way, right? Constantly reminding the nurses, right? So then the doctor arrived, and then after the doctor arrived, she checked everything. she gave her some time before she can push the baby out, and she's 10 centimeters dilated by the time doctor came in. So
I started pushing the baby. So the doctor would say to push. That's when I was supposed to push for like a minute and then stop. And then every time there is another contraction, the doctor would ask me to push, and then I would push for almost like a minute. So that's what the pattern was. This time around, I guess I almost pushed for like an hour, right? The baby was born, and then the baby came out crying, and then the doctor gave the baby to me, and then we had some skin to skin time, and then it was so beautiful, guys. We were almost in tears with the happiness of seeing our baby, and it was an amazing feeling. They cut the umbilical cord, and the doctor took the baby away just to check her if she is doing okay. This time, this baby turns out to be a pretty healthy baby. She was 7 pounds when she was born. So the nurse changed our room to a postpartum room. So my husband went to bring my mom and my older daughter, and then they were with me after like 15-20 minutes, and then it was priceless to see the expression on my older daughter's face. Her expression was like blank, you know. Sugar. Here's our daughter Isha, guys. She's 4 months old and she's doing great. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. We had so much fun making this video for you guys. I will be posting some baby updates and mommy update videos pretty soon. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.